Good morning, alpha testers. I hope we are well and had a good weekend. I sent out the first email this morning titled Let's Get Started, and I want to have a little bit of an introduction to you guys. My name's Ross. I run the company NYP. I know most of you, but for some of you I don't. It's a little bit of a less formal introduction. Lots of you put on our initial queue that we did last week that you'd like to receive video messages. So I'm going to start to do video messages now every day for the freemium interaction. Some of you are going to have the freemium interaction to begin with, and then some of you will take part in the in-betweenium interaction and the premium interaction. Throughout the testing period, you will all experience the different levels of interaction. So don't worry if you don't like the current level that you're on, but you're all going to at least receive the freemium version. So the freemium version is going to send you some information every single day, and this week we're going to cover a dimension every day. So today's dimension is health and fitness. So how I'm going to break it down, guys, is I'm going to give you something to think about. Okay, so I'm going to give you some advice for the day, I'm going to give you a thought, I'm then going to give you a challenge, and then I'm going to leave you some motivation to go away. All right, so my advice for you today is, with regards to health and fitness, is I really want you to think about, right, what am I going to do today that's going to make me better physically? Okay, so the idea of doing some exercise over nothing. So it's the idea of something over nothing. So that's the physical side, so the actual partaking of exercise. Do something today over nothing. The second bit of advice I want to give you now is to think about food. I want you to now start to think about eating less processed food. Now, you guys know what the processed foods are because you've been avoiding them, or you tell your kids not to have them, or you sort of feel a bit guilty when you do have them. I want you to start avoiding those, so avoiding the processed foods. I also want you to start eating foods that are close to their natural state, okay? It's a bit of a play on words with the processed foods, but foods that come in packages, you can see them in their original state. So unfortunately, you're going to have to go home and do some cooking. Okay, for some advice on some super plant-based food, go to Bear's Kitchen on Instagram. That's my wife's page, and she's got some amazing recipes on there to get. So you'll notice that I gave you one bit of advice for physical activity and two bits of advice for the food. That's because the food is twice as important. Okay, twice as important. And the last thing I want you to think about, guys, is just drinking a bit more water. So there's your 4 bits of advice today. Do something over nothing when it comes to exercise, eat less processed food, eat food that's just closer to its natural state, and drink a bit more water. Alright, so that's your advice. So your thought for the day, guys, I want you to think about the fact that the government spend £47 billion each year treating obesity. That's £47 billion, okay, so that's a lot of cash. And they also predict, guys, that by 2020, 80% of men will be obese and 70% of women will be obese. Please don't be one of those stats, okay? It's important for you and it's important for your family. Okay, so now the next thing to think about is your challenge. Is to find something to do today that's going to improve you physically, okay? So we've talked about our nutrition, and we've talked about the things you can think about. I want you to do something today as your challenge, some form of exercise today. Now remember, we talked about earlier, something over nothing. So 10 minutes of something is better than 10 minutes of nothing. Okay, so whether it's 10 minutes of burpees, a walk, a run, take your kids out for a bike ride, do something today that's going to be physically exhausting for yourself, and you're actually going to work your body. All right, that's your challenge for the day. Let me know what it is as well. I want you to send me a little tweet, a little WhatsApp message, or a Facebook message to tell me what you're doing today, okay? And we're going to share this amongst the testers, start to create a little bit of community around it. And then the last thing I want you to think about, guys, before you go, the only bad workout is the one that you don't do, all right? This has been your first video message for the alpha testers for NYP, guys. They're going to be coming thick and fast every day. Let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like, and hopefully we can really start to nail down this perfect app for you guys, the users. Have an awesome day, guys. NYP.